Yeah, the money's addicting. It is. It's addicting.
Okay, so what does it look like? Like, what does the money? Because I have an idea of what I was making 10 years ago when I waited tables.
Would you like to share that with us before I get into mine?
Like on a Friday, Saturday, double,
let's do like a Friday, Saturday double,
or like
all
a
day.
whole weekend. Like you want like a Friday to Friday, Saturday,
when you
Sunday.
did it way back in the day, when you were waiting tables, were you doing it like I am, where like when my weekend shifts are 3 doubles in a row?
Oh, yeah.
So that was you too. Okay, so then do it like that. Do your 3 doubles in a row. How much money you would average?
For the weekend? Anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600. Anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600. And I said no to it. You know, and I eventually like said, okay, well, listen, you know, this is what I'm looking to do. It was just a segue for me to get into the back of the house so that I could start
But you couldn't
cooking.
even lie. It was nice.
You know, yeah, but I knew then, even when I was working for it, that I didn't deserve it. And
see, this is where you and I completely
even
because
then,
why do we not deserve it?
It's like
I'm still putting in the work. I'm still going up to the table. I'm still putting.
Ish.
What do you mean, ish? I'm putting in. I'm doing everything for it.
Ish. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
Ish.
No.
Think about the breakdown of it.
He can't even give a real answer. He can't even give a solid answer.
Of course, because of all of the hands that it takes to even get
It
that
does
plate
take a
to
lot
the
of hands.
table. So how are you the most deserving for the gratuity?
but this is what I'm saying. Is that
creates a myopic and selfish. Like it's just
yes. And at this,
ideal.
And at this restaurant, it's very different because when I worked at the restaurant that I used to work at the country club, it was a one-woman show. And when I mean that it was a one-woman show, I'm being so serious in the fact that I made all my own drinks. I bussed all my own tables. I ran all the food to my own. I did everything all just me. I had a bartender, but like I would.
Getting riled up. You know, you're getting riled up. I'm really back.
Well, I'm just like being realistic here.
like
I'm just saying though, like, you know, and I was making less money at that job than I am now.
Yeah, but you know, you have the busser, you have the runner, you have
Yes,
the expo,
but
you
that's
have the
something-
kitchen,
but that's
you have the
something that I
management,
was
you have
never
the
used
maitre d'
to.
or the host. You have all of these individuals. Someone's seating your table, someone was watering your table, someone's clearing your table, someone's making your food, and someone's bringing your food out for you. So here are all the examples as to why I don't deserve
and here's a reason, and here's
on a
reasons
weekend,
why they
you know?
do. They get tipped out. I tip them out
Menial.
very well.
Nothing.
That's not.
Absolutely nothing. They get schmittens if they throw them coins and feed on the floor, people. That is what they get tipped out. That is the fact. All right.
That is just so far from the truth. It's not even funny. Listen, but here's the thing. If you're not pulling your weight, then you're not getting a good tip
What's
out.
your weight then? What are you pulling here? Because I listed all the things that other people are doing for you. So what are you doing for the table? Right? That's
Okay,
really
but
like,
if you're a busser and you're picking up 1 cup and bringing it to the dish pit, you're not a busser. You're just standing around literally doing nothing. That's, you know what I mean?
yeah, but if you're a server and you can't tell me the difference between a Sauvignon Blanc and an
I can tell
Outback, then we have a problem.
Okay, one of them is a red and one of them's a white. Like,
Okay. Either way, though, do you know what I mean? Like that's the whole. It's the point I'm looking to get across.
but I'm saying, like, go reverting it back to, you know, the
European
original.
all day, European style all day.
Okay, reverting it back to, you know, the money thing.
Yeah, the addiction to the money.
The addiction to the money. I would say that the amount of money that I make on a weekend is pretty similar to what you said, like 1,200 to 1,600.
So it's right on par, right?
So
Like,
it's right on par.
it stayed the same.
Yeah, it did stay the same. That's just the weekend. I have this as my full-time job right now. So I will say that at this point right now.
You're making more money than me. Absolutely.
But I will say, and I will agree with you on this, and like
either way,
I am addicted to it right now.
Oh God, do we need to get someone for you?
No, I'm gonna be okay. But
right.
I am addicted to it right now, just because I love the environment. It's fast paced, and I also know that this is not something that I physically will be able to do for that long.
This is physically grueling for you?
Going up to a table every day. Hi, how are you?
That takes,
in my customer service voice, because how I'm talking right now is not my customer service voice.
And see, that's
It
that's
goes
why
up
you should maybe
12
just be
decibels.
you. You should just be you when you're talking to your tables, and it wouldn't cost so much.
No, because if I was just being me, there would be some like plates thrown of like broccoli on people. Okay, because and I've had that happen to me one time. Not at this restaurant, but I had One time at the restaurant that I used to work at, I had a guy throw a ketchup bottle at me.
Oh, yeah.
Cause
What'd you do?
His burger was not hot. I was absolutely slammed this day. His burger wasn't hot enough.
It was, which was obviously your fault.
Which was obviously my fault.
Because you let the food sit in the window, of course. We know this. No.
When you don't have a food runner and you're the only waitress working, am I supposed to be in two places at once? Not possible.
You know how badly I just want to tell you that life isn't fair right now. I'm just saying.
I told you that at the beginning of the episode, and we'll reiterate it.
All right.
But so he was like, so I went to go get him a new burger. I come back. Well, now the fries are cold. So then I had to go get him new fries. And then I come back and the ketchup bottle's empty. So he takes it and he chucks it at me across the thing. And I literally, in that moment, went right up to my boss and said, I quit. I do not want to do this anymore.
In that moment?
Yeah, she didn't let me. I wasn't. I didn't.
Whoa! First of all, we need to talk. This is for another episode too. If you quit and she didn't let you, I don't know.
It wasn't like it wasn't like I was being serious. Like, oh, like I quit. It was like I don't want to. I don't want to be treated like that.
I hear it. Okay. Definitely.
But it's like that's what I'm saying. Imagine if you heard some of the way that people talk to us at the tables. To you guys, you would lose your freaking mind. You would lose it. Because you get upset about the way that we act towards you, like when we're all stressed out, but that is a direct result of being mistreated by customers.
Okay, fair enough.
Like you don't have to be completely, like you don't have to fully get down to their level.
No, but you know what though?
Because you're not paying any mind to them. You're just making the food, making sure it gets out.
No. And I'm gonna cut you off now because you said more points about the back of the house, right? The difference, right? Is nowadays you're hard pressed to find a kitchen that doesn't have an open, like that is a restaurant that doesn't have an open kitchen, Yeah. So that's something that's completely differed, through the generation. Like, it's like that's the norm. Before in the past, like if a couple restaurants had an open kitchen or they had a pass that you could kind of see into the kitchen. It's like, oh, cool, dinner and a show. Now that's become like the industry standard. That's the norm.
People want to watch.
Yeah.
I know that people, I know this for a fact, that people appreciate, when they have a question, they like to see us going up to you directly asking you the question.
Exactly. So to your point is like, we are in it now. Do you know what I mean? there's no longer an autonomy between the front of the house and the back
I would
of the
agree
house.
that some of you are in it. Some of you, no shot. Not a shot. And
either way, you're in it. If you're on the line and you're on display and people are watching you,
let's talk about the line for a second,
Oh,
since this kind of goes like into the gender ratio thing.
What are you trying to say here?
Why don't we talk about all the people that work in the kitchen? Because all the people that work in the kitchen at our restaurant are male, and all the people that work in the front of house are female.
How do you feel about that? Do you think do you found an issue with it?
I haven't found an issue with it, surprisingly. When I first started working there, I was a little bit worried that was what it was, because,
like it was going to be a divide or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what would that actually, I don't know.
But I'm saying, has that changed since your time working back then too? Because
I've only ever worked, in all of my years of working in a kitchen, I've only ever worked with like maybe 5 women in a kitchen. That's not to say that they're not prominent in the kitchen, but the thing is, what I find is that a lot of women in our industry, or in my industry, like the culinary industry, they tend to go straight to becoming chefs. They don't really do line cook. Like, they get an education and, and I'm not going to even just write them off as pastry anymore, because we're beyond that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're beyond pastry and baking, and that's become something that's, by gender, whatever, anyone can do.
Yeah.
But a lot of women in our industry go straight, like they become chefs, they go straight into running a kitchen, or go straight into recipe development or kitchen management or some type of administrative role from the jump. They get the education in the field and they're able to jump right into it and be at that level. It's not like you see a lot of women that go through the rigor of the grind, or whatever you want to call it, of like being on the line 55 hours, 60 hours a week. They're just taking a more, I would say, streamlined approach, a more composed approach, treating it like a higher education system, do you know what I mean? As if they should, and putting that level of professionalism behind it. So they're going right into leadership roles, you know, which is why you probably won't see or don't see a lot of women who are just working as line cooks or in a, you know what I mean, in a restaurant like that, because they're all out there running their own establishments or, you know, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least me personally, that's what I would say. I wouldn't say it's because there are less of them or they don't want to do it. I think they're just taking a more, you know.
What about front of house though?
Well, that's just.
Because let's be real here. When in society did it change that like majority of women were going to be in the front of house?
But
because I think that people like to see. I think that women are more comforting, and I think that
absolutely
exactly, and I think that they make you feel more at peace when you're in a restaurant.
Yeah, definitely. But I think there needs to be like, well, you were just saying, right, that like the stats are still 60-40.
Yeah.
You know, like 60 men.
Yeah.
Right, to 40% women in
which is so
front of
surprising to me, but I think it's just because the one that we work on is just so flipped.
Yeah. It's just it's all ladies in there. But, you know. No, I do hear that. What was the question again? Because I definitely got lost at that where you were saying like, how do I feel? It's
like with the front of house, like do you like are you surprised nowadays that it's like majority? Like, well, I guess no, not really, because it's technically not, but in our situation it is.
Yeah, in our situation it is. I believe in balance. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you see all ladies or all ladies of the same age, then you're kind of like, well, there is no like control here or whatever. I don't know. Maybe like they're kind of doing what they want to do or they don't really care. I don't know. Maybe a lackadaisical approach. It's just the rigor of having a male on staff in the front. Like, you just feel like a guy, like those guys are just taking their job so seriously. You know what I mean? They want to be the best. Like, if the guy's doing it, he wants to be the best at it. So
you don't feel that way about women?
You literally just told me that you guys are doing it for the dinero and that you don't want to get trapped. And you literally just gave me all the reasons. I
do not want to get trapped, and I am doing it for the money. However,
as to why you won't
a lot
take
of
this
other
job
people
seriously.
It's not that I do take it seriously, though. I do take it seriously because those are things that I care about. I care about the money, and I probably could increase my professionalism a little bit, but, you know.
Okay. Well,
that's something that we can discuss at a later time.